HIIT is intense exercise for short periods of time with low intensity rest periods in between the high intensity activity. Typically, they are shorter workouts but can burn a lot of calories in a short period of time, and is a great way to gain lean muscle with fat loss at the same time. Along with this, it can improve your breathing and your muscles' ability to use oxygen. As with all forms of exercise, HIIT is a great way to reduce stress, heart rate, and blood pressure. Some examples of HIIT exercises include biking, jumping, using your own body weight, sprinting, etc. The scientific article that I reviewed was called High Intensity Interval Training Improves Cardiorespiratory Fitness, which is abbreviated CRF, in healthy, overweight, and obese adolescents, a systematic review and meta-analysis of controlled studies. The scientific article was a study to determine if the cardiovascular and cardiorespiratory fitness of all adolescent body types, healthy, overweight, and obese, are improved by HIIT exercises. It concluded that HIIT is an effective method to improve cardiovascular health for all adolescent body types. Since this is a meta-analysis, the strength of the evidence should be evaluated on the search strategy, reporting of a thorough search, and a valid conclusion. The search strategy was very detailed and had many components as to how they were collecting their information by including the exact ages of the participants, ensuring that they were adolescents. CRF changes were labeled as being measured indirectly or directly. A control group was incorporated. Protocol information was inserted, and HIIT intensity was recorded. Each of these factors were brought about in the studies drawn together. This also shows how thorough their search was for studies, and that they made sure that each of the factors were investigated in great detail to ensure strong evidence. This article also made sure to include a lengthy description section, a materials and methods section, and a results section. The conclusion was that HIIT is an effective method to improve cardiovascular fitness in adolescents irrespective of body composition. This conclusion is valid and makes sense because the conclusion was drawn by data provided. Overall, this would be a very strong strength of evidence article. The popular literature article that I reviewed was Here's What a HIIT Workout Is and Why You Should Try It. It is divided into sections and explains HIIT in a way that is easy to read. To determine if this is strong evidence, research studies need to be included, opinions of experts in the field should be cited, conclusions are consistent with specific evidence in the field, and it should be published in mainstream media. While piecing through this article, there are specific words or phrases highlighted that can be clicked on. It looks like the links would take you to a scientific-based article, but it does not. When clicked, the link takes you to another article written by Self, which is how this article was written. None of the paragraphs are backed by any research or scientific studies. There are experts in the field who are interviewed for this article, and they voice their own opinions on the benefits and common mistakes of HIIT workouts. The article is also written by a professional in the field. I cannot conclude, though, that the conclusions of this article are consistent with scientific evidence, especially since it wasn't cited. Since their scientific sources are not provided, there is no way for me to be fully sure that the opinions of the experts align with science. It is easy to find, which could consider it mainstream media, but the website states itself that it does not provide medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This could potentially mean that the things written are not 100% accurate and could be just for the pleasure of anyone who reads it. In conclusion, the strength of this evidence is weak. After looking at other articles as well, there are many scientific articles out there that are valid and provide strong evidence, but some of them do not provide a large enough sample size to make conclusions that apply to everyone. There are also many popular literature articles out there that are very easy to find. Some of them do provide and cite many scientific-based evidence articles, but there are also many that are just for the pleasure of the reader and don't focus so much on accuracy of evidence. It is important to make sure that you are getting the right and correct information, and you need to look into your articles and evaluate evidence to know the right information.